Hey guys, it's Brandy, the creator of the Healthy Conscious Mompreneur YouTube channel. I am 33, an author, an Amazon seller, and an entrepreneur, as well as a health conscious lifestyle creator. That's what I like to do. I like to study how to make a healthy life in all areas. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about how do we encourage healthy eating habits in our children. So obviously, to start, you would want to not give them the bad stuff to begin with. So right now I'm talking to the parents who have children who are just starting to eat or haven't started eating like actual food yet. So when I was doing this with my child, because my daughter eats really clean. She eats fruits, she eats vegetables. She doesn't so much like the vegetables as much right now, but she still eats quite a few. She eats the least amount of meat over anything, and she's starting to eat more types of grains. But basically when I started off her palate, I just introduced her to fruits. We started with fruits and I pureed everything because they put stuff in the baby food to preserve it, and I just didn't want her to have that at all. So, and it's not that hard to mash up some bananas, mash up some avocado, mash up some berries or whatever. So, the first thing you want to do if you want to encourage healthy eating habits in your child is to give them what you know is good for them. Fruits, vegetables, whole foods. Okay. And so once you're doing that, you're already setting the stage because you're training their palate. The first 3 years are the most vital years for training their palate and building up their gut. Because most of our health issues, if you don't know, come from the gut. The gut is the root of almost every illness. So if you can help build a healthy gut in your child, they'll have less issues, even like mental issues, even like behavioral issues, like all of it. So that's the first tip I'm gonna give you. Hold on, let me pull up my notes so I don't miss anything. Oh, and then you don't want to be feeding them like crackers and cereal and all this stuff. Like you want to feed them like whole food, nutritious food. Don't be feeding them empty calories because they're gonna eat, and then they're still gonna be hungry because they're not really getting what they need, the vitamins, the minerals, the amino acids. They're just filling up on carbohydrates. And then that could cause obesity, that could cause um like what's that, celiacs and all that stuff because for one, you also don't want to introduce grains too soon. And when you do give grains, you want to make sure they're prepared properly because remember, you're building the gut. So it doesn't have what your gut has to deal with all the different foods we eat. Um, The other thing you're gonna do is once they get to a certain age, you can start explaining to them like, hey, we eat these eggs because they give us protein, and the yellow part gives you fat, and fat is really good for your brain, and it helps your brain to grow. So like you can make them understand that food is nourishment, like it's not just something for enjoyment, and it's something that is necessary, and you want to make sure you're getting the necessary things. So you want to start training their mind to think about food as nutrition. Um, I really think that my daughter enjoys knowing what her food is doing for her when she eats it. And like even like sometimes now, because she's 4, so now even when she might not want something or she might not like it that much, like she could deal with it, she'll eat it because she knows it's gonna do X, Y, or Z for her body. Um, don't even give them sugary foods to start. You don't want to get them started on that. no sugary food, so that means and no foods with food coloring, because all this stuff is messing up their gut. And all you're doing is training them to want sugary stuff. It's fine to let them get sugar from fruit. That's fine. That's natural, unprocessed sugar. But it's another thing giving them things like bites of cake, donuts, all that stuff. Like you can still make your child cake. It's just not going to be the cake that you can just go run and get. You're going to have to prepare it. You're gonna have to find like a healthy version of it. So that is what I have to say about that. And then so like as your child gets older, okay, now I'm gonna talk to the parents who you started off not feeding your child clean. Like you was just giving them whatever just because you didn't know. Okay, so now you want them to turn to healthy. So number one is don't take everything away from them that they're used to getting. Start introducing things slowly to them that you want them to start eating and have a rule like you have to try it at least 3 times or something of that nature. Like, because you can tell them your taste buds change every 14 days, so you might not have liked something last month, but you might like it this month because you have a new palate. And that's been helping me to get my daughter to retry stuff that she used to like, and then now she thinks she doesn't like it, so I'm still making her retry it. Um, so that's helpful, and then also you can make healthy stuff taste good. And another good way to get in stuff is smoothies. Like most kids love smoothies as long as you make it taste good. And it's not hard to make a smoothie taste good because it's fruit, so it's sweet. And you can put green powders in there and different stuff that they wouldn't eat normally, but you know are more nutritious. And then as you get them to have more and more of these nutritious items, their body's gonna cleanse and start craving these things instead of craving the bad stuff. And like you can stop having the bad stuff in the house. It's not a crime. Yeah, they might be upset about it, but eventually they're gonna eat if they're hungry. And you'll have stuff that they'll eat like that isn't necessarily the greatest thing, but it's not bad. Um, okay, okay. We're moving down this list. We're moving down this list. Um, so one of the reasons that your child could be a picky eater or not like the healthy stuff is because they have some kind of parasite or worms going on, or they're already deficient in certain nutrients, or they have been exposed to heavy metals or mold or some kind of environmental exposure that has overloaded their system. So when this happens, your body tends to not crave the good stuff because the stuff that's in there is signaling you to eat the bad stuff, which would feed it over the good stuff, because the good stuff is going to alkaline your body, or the bad stuff is going to keep it in an acidic state. And these creatures and parasites and all these things, they don't want you to become alkaline because they can't live in that environment. So that could be one, those are several reasons. So that could be several reasons why your child is harder to get to eat healthy stuff. And especially a big sign of that is if they have issues with textures. Textures usually have to do with parasites and the worms, but also heavy metals. So you can look into more about that. There's the spray I use, and we use it regularly, and it detoxes you from heavy metals as well as parasites and worms. And you just spray it in your mouth twice a day. And my daughter, she's like, Mom, I want my spray. So it doesn't taste like anything. So it's real easy to give them. And it helps right away. Like if there's a severe issue, you'll be able to see the worms and parasites and all that coming out in their poop ASAP. They also could just be, like I said, deficient. And when you're deficient, you don't the signals aren't going off properly in the body. And it's very easy to be deficient in today's society, even as adults, even if you were eating clean and all that, because our fruits and vegetables do not have the same nutrients that they used to have in them because of how they're farming. They're using all these chemical pesticides and herbicides and all the different sides on the ground. So it's stripping the ground, not just the plants, but it's stripping the ground of the vital nutrients that the plant would normally have. And then also you have we have the chemicals in the air that's doing the same thing. And then it's producing this food that's not nutrient dense like it used to be. They're not letting the land rest like they used to. So they've industrialized farming, and we're suffering the consequences of it by having malnourished food, which is then creating us as malnourished. Uh-oh, Chinese get in trouble. Okay. Oh, the other thing that can really help get them is get them involved with the cooking, the grocery shopping, the preparing, the putting up with the groceries. So then like you really just have to make it fun. Kids love a good activity. You could make celery sticks with the peanut butter and the raisins and tell them, you know, we're gonna make little ant armies. And then that might encourage them to eat it. And people like to usually taste the things they make. So you have to get creative when we're grocery shopping. I'm like, can you tell me what this is? Can you tell me what that is? And then we put it in the cart. I'm like, what does this do for you? What does that do for you? Or if she doesn't, if I know she doesn't know, then I explain to her what it's doing for her. So those are all wonderful tips and strategies and reasons why your child may be a picky eater, but then I'm giving you the strategies to overcome that and then also how to create the healthy cravings from the start. So if you found this video helpful, do your girl a favor and subscribe to the channel, like the video, share with somebody who you know needs to know what I'm talking about. And you can also join my free VIP community in school, and the link will be below in the description. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.